Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Rishabh and in today's video we'll be discussing one of the difficult SQL questions asked across startup and Maang companies. I've already solved this problem using PostgreSQL, but this time we'll be using SQL Server. Alright, let's get started. So in this SQL challenge, we have a data set of employees who have taken leaves. We want to find all the individual dates for each employees between their leave start date and end date. Cool. To help you follow along, here's the example data we'll be working with. We have two employees, John and Mark. Each of them has their own leave start and leave end date. Our task is to create a SQL query that fetches all the dates between the leave start and leave end date for each employee basically. So we get complete list of dates they were on leave. You can just go through the problem, try to solve it yourself, and then maybe you can watch the solution. Now that we understand the problem, let's jump into the solution. So this is the table I've already created, which I just showed you over there. This is the problem statement, and this is the same table which I have created using CT, which I have named it as temp. Now I'm using SQL Server to solve this problem. Let's solve it. Again, the logic is going to be very simple. We have leave start date. We need a series so that we can add that series to leave start date to get subsequent dates for each employees. But how can we do it? Let's see. Let's create another CT called numbers as we can have. And instead of, so in PostgreSQL we use generate series, but generate series function is not available in SQL Server, so we'll be using row number. Select row number, over what I'm doing here is I'm ordering it by select null. So this is a way to generate a sequence of series when you do not have any data. And what you can use here is, let's name it as m from this dot columns. Cool. What is sys dot columns? Let's try to understand the advantage of sys dot columns as well. Sys dot columns. So it is a common technique to generate a sequence of number, and this technique is often employed when a database system doesn't have a built-in mechanism for generating sequences or numbers directly. So this is a dummy table, you can say, and the advantages of this dummy table is availability of rows. So sys.columns table, it typically contains a good number of rows, often more than what you need. So this ensures that you have enough rows to generate a sequence of numbers without needing to create a custom table just for this purpose. So we could have created a custom table as well, but instead of doing that, we are just using sys.columns. It is platform independent, so let me write the advantages. Availability of rows is the first advantage. Second advantage is platform independent. Next is it's simple. It's very simple, right? You are just writing a select statement and selecting the data from sys.calls, and as it's a system table, right, it is already optimized, so you can say optimization is already there. So these are the four advantages or benefits of using sys.calls, so sys.columns. And yeah, so what we have done over here is we have created a CT called numbers, and we have used row number over a dummy table called sys.columns, The purpose of this CT is to create a set of numbers that we will use to generate the dates, right? So now we have a series. What we'll do from here is we will now we can close it. Let's start building it. Select. Um, let's use the temp table. Let's just focus over here. It's a bit complex when it comes to join and the condition we'll be using, but yeah, I'll try to explain. I will join it with numbers. Let's use the name as n, right? Now let's see. Let's first focus on what are we going to select, and then we can focus on the joins. What do we need? We need t dot name, comma. Next is we can use date add just to add dates to days. Leave start date, date, comma. This is n dot n. N is the alias used for the CT numbers. N is the row number that we have used. -1, comma, t dot leave start date as leave date. Cool. I will explain this as well, what we have done over here. So yeah, or let me just add the joins as well. This will help you to understand the entire problem. Cool. We have n, we can join it on n dot n is less than equal to date def. We are subtracting what? Day, comma, t dot leave start date, comma, t dot leave end date, and at the end we'll add 1. Let's plus 1 here. Order it just to see the same sequence. We'll be sorting it order by t dot name, comma, leave date. Okay, now let's try to understand what we have done over here. So this is the select statement. We are selecting name. Date add is, this is where the magic happens. So we have date add function, which is used to generate a sequence of dates starting from the leave start date for each employee. Date add function, it adds an interval to a specific date, right? So in this case, we are adding a certain number of days to leave start date. Days, the argument which specifies that we are adding days. N dot n minus 1 calculates the number of days to be added, right? So n dot n represents the number from the CT called numbers. We are using this as a reference, and we are subtracting -1 to it to ensure that the first day is the leave start date itself, right? I'll try to add this column as well to show you how the data will look like, but for now let's just focus on the output, right? And now let's try to understand what we have done over here, right? What we have joined. So we have joined on n dot n less than equal to date if day, t dot leave start date, comma, t dot leave end date plus 1. This is where the number CT comes into play. So this CT basically, number CT comes into play. We are joining the temp table with the numbers. on a condition. The condition is that n dot n, the number from the number CTE, should be less than or equal to the number of days between the leave start date and the leave end date for each employee, right? So date diff is nothing but date between leave end date to leave start date, and we are adding one to ensure that the last day is also included, and then we are just ordering it by name and leave date. Let's see how the output looks like. Yeah, so we have the output. See, now if I just add what this n, how this n looks like, let me add it n dot n, and let me try to run it again. See, so we have a sequence of number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for John. Similarly, we have for Maang. You can increase the date over here, it will, or you can add more employees to it. It will generate this entire list of dates when these employees were on leave. So let me remove this now, run it again. Yeah, so that's it. So with this SQL query, we have successfully solved the problem of finding all the individual dates between the leave start date and leave end date for each employee using SQL Server. If you have, if you want to try, or if you have any other solution, you can just add as a comment, right? I hope you find the SQL problem solving session helpful and informative. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to stay updated with our upcoming SQL adventures. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.